Project Sapient is a podcast meant to engage our brothers and sisters in the law enforcement and military communities in conversations that we all know we need to have. All opinions you'll hear are our own, are protected by our First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and in no way reflect or are meant to reflect the opinion of any specific agency, officer, or service member. Some opinions may be controversial. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy. Hi, Ayman.
Hello, Pete.
What's going on?
Just dealing with the day.
What the fuck are you wearing?
Gasp!
Gasp Inc.
Yes.
What the fuck is Gasp?
It's a bodybuilding, powerlifting shirt company, so I just like their shirt.
How's your gasp?
I actually like it because it makes me seem so much bigger than I actually am.
Why are you puffing your chest out, man?
Right?
Guys, Project Sapient. We got to thank everybody, all of our supporters. HavokJournal.com, JimJunkies.com, VectorShield.com, LiveBoston617.org, WellnessForWarriors.live. We love all of you. Thank you so much for everything, guys, for supporting us. We're in probably, 4,000 or 5,000 listeners already.
Oh, my God, yeah. It's amazing.
It is amazing, dude.
I mean, we've only been up for a couple months, and bam.
Yeah, and we're reaching people all over the world. I mean, it's just badass. Thank you, everybody, for everything you do. Oh, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh, yes. YouTube.
Project Sapient.
We are on all the platforms.
Yep.
Just subscribe. Please spread the word. Get the message out there.
Yep.
So.
All right. So let's go into article.
Today's article. So we're kind of gonna switch a little gears, right? We always do law enforcement and warrior mindset type stuff and whatever. But I figured this week we will talk. One of my articles I wrote about is me being a Middle Eastern veteran and my welcome to what we affectionately called as Mortar City, and to my squad, the Praetorians.
So this is an article on Havok Journal.
Yes.
Again, Havok Journal is awesome. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything you've been doing for us.
Yes.
The article is named "A Middle Eastern Veteran's Welcome to Mortar City and the Praetorians."
Yeah.
Who's this handsome devil right here?
Dude, that's young me.
Jesus Christ.
That was me at 23, 24 years old, man.
Oh, my God.
That was the young me.
And this is in Iraq.
This is in Iraq.
Who's this little dude?
That little dude came up to me, and when I opened my mouth and spoke Arabic, he became my best friend. And I think, if I remember correctly, I gave him Oreos or some sort of
That
snack.
looks like an Oreo package.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the fat guy in me sees the blue, and I'm like, dude, that is Oreos all day long.
Wait a minute. What the fuck is that picture in the background? See these three dudes here?
Yeah.
What's the picture in the background?
All right, you're never going to believe this. So get a mission. We get a mission. We had to go.
I got to look at it closely.
Yeah, we had to go to the French embassy in Baghdad for commander's meeting or whatever. So we went down there. We were part of the security detail who surrounded and helped out with securing the area. That right there, my friend, we find out is the Arnold Schwarzenegger gym of Baghdad.
What?
Yeah.
Like the Arnold Schwarzenegger gym of Baghdad.
That's what it was called. And,
was there dudes working out?
Oh my God, yeah. And
savages.
Dude, what I loved about it is it was so old school. They had equipment maybe from the 50s, and dude, it was awesome.
Dude, hey, and whatever works.
Literally, you've seen those old videos of Arnold Schwarzenegger working out in Venice and at a Gold's Gym and all that shit.
Yeah,
dude, it looked just like that.
Really?
And I'm like, and I met so I met the owner of the gym. He's an old school bodybuilder. And you can tell very well built, but he's old and he's training this Iraqi guy for bodybuilding to get into the world competition type thing. And this dude was built like a freaking brick house.
While this whole fucking war is going on.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are training.
Yeah.
That's commitment, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, that gym was packed.
That's fucking commitment.
And what's funny is when we went in there, I actually had to check it out. I'm like, dude, let's go in there. So it was like 5 of us, 5 U.S. soldiers. We go into the gym just to check it out.
Right.
But, you know, again, like thinking about it now, I'm like, dude, you had a bunch of friggin' U.S. soldiers all battle fucking rattle and everything, and we're walking in there with our M4s and 203s and F249s.
That's just dudes lifting away, fucking.
You know, dudes lifting away, and again, I have so many pictures, but I could not find the picture of me inside the gym. We took a picture with the owner and all that.
Oh,
and
dude.
It was pretty cool. But one of these days, I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
If you can find it, we're gonna post the shit out of it. Right?
Yeah. I'll get it out there to you guys so you guys can check it out.
That's badass, bro. All right, so talk to me. Talk to me about.
So
we're on page 2.
Yeah, so this is one of the first articles I've written for Havok Journal.
Okay.
So May 14, 2020.
All right.
So again, one of the very first articles I've written. And, you know, it reminds me, you know, so it goes off right at the beginning. I talk about what it was like going to Camp Anaconda, which was affectionately called Mortar City.
Yeah.
Because it was getting mortars all the time, hitting that base. It's a very large base, you know, mortars all the time. It's in the middle of a city. I believe, if my memory served me right, Ramadi, like the Ramadi area. So it's a, you know, city area. And
don't mind me, I'm having my Greek coffee while we're talking.
Well, you're good.
Okay, liquid cocaine.
Yeah. So we now the way we landed.
Yep. I
will never forget this. So we leave Kuwait in a C-130, take off. We're getting ready, you know, to land in Baghdad, and not Baghdad, sorry, Camp Anaconda.
Yep.
And they had to do what they call a combat drop.
Oh.
That was the only way they can land without getting shot at or shot down.
Yeah.
So you think C-130, very large plane, right, has our company in there, and so basically what a combat drop is that the plane starts at whatever height, we'll say 10,000 feet or whatever, and what they do is to land, they corkscrew their way, like as a crash landing, to land the plane safely. And during that flight to from Kuwait to Camp Anaconda, I forget, it was probably a couple hours, maybe even less, but I fell asleep because it was in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and you get as much sleep as you possibly can whenever you can.
Pretty much. Right. And so I was asleep, and I wake up to this combat drop. Now, I thought we were crash landing.
So you're panicking.
So I wake up, and I'm like, holy shit.
Here it comes.
And one of the guys like, no, they're doing the combat drop. I'm like, Jesus, thanks for fucking waking me up before they did it. You know, so we land, and I'm like, holy shit. Yet, you know, some people had the throw up bags and throwing up in there because
I'm not laughing at you guys.
No, I know. It's just I mean, I'm just kind of developing the scene for everybody to be like, what a shit show that was landing into Anaconda. But that's the only way you can land into that base at the time. This was back in 05 when I got there. January of 2005 is when we landed into Camp Anaconda.
Dude, right in the thick of it, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was the Wild West in 05, dude. So so we make our way off the plane, off the C-130, and we head towards a briefing, large briefing tent / area, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So, you know, the military gave us these cards where we check in. So we scan in. Now we're checked into war. We're here. You know, it's kind of like checking into your room for the hotel. You know, you're like, ching, all right,
Can I help you with your bag, sir?
Yeah, exactly. So we check in and we sit down, and the sergeant first class, an E7, was greeted us as once we sat down, and he yells out, "Welcome to Camp Anaconda, otherwise known as Mortar City."
Fuck.
As he continued to brief us on in-processing procedures, billeting, like where we're going to be sleeping temporarily, process in and all that stuff. We process in, we get to our temporary housing, which is basically a bunch of tents and cots.
Yeah.
So that's what we call Tent City.
Excellent accommodations.
Well, you know, it's the Army. But
yeah. You just went through a flight from fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're sleeping, you know.
Here's your cot.
Yeah.
Welcome to war.
Pretty much. And you know, slowly I drifted off to sleep because, dude, I was fucking, it was like, you know, probably 2, 3 in the morning. We had a long day the next day just to, you know, in process and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I wake up to boom, boom, boom. The mortars
Fucking
are going
mortars
off.
coming.
Yeah, oh yeah, raining down. I woke up to sound explosions.
Shit.
Air sirens were going off. The base was under attack by mortars, and my tent mates and I rushed out of our tents to the bunkers. You know, we had all the. But actually, recently, the base got hit. Actually, I don't know if it's the same one in Iraq. I saw a news story
It was just
about
on the news.
It was just on the news. They got hit by rockets, and they ran to these bunkers. So
No shit.
I don't know what the bunkers are like now versus what they were back then. Back then, man, it was like one big concrete block.
Right.
And really, that's in a bunch of sandbags. So I don't know what they look like now. So, you know, as we stood there huddled together, which, I mean, we realized that if a mortar hit us head on, we'd be dead anyways. I mean, it was kind of one of those false sense of security, you know? You're like, okay. And, you know, kind of reality hit us right away. I'm like, all right, well, we're here.
You know what? I'm cutting you off, but what amazes me about even the first few parts of your article here is that this was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
And this was your first time in Iraq?
First time, yep.
You like remember the minute details.
Yeah, I mean, there are things, you know, I always talk to my fellow squad mates and other guys that have deployed to war, whether it was Afghanistan, Iraq, even the old timers from Desert Storm, Bosnia, stuff like, you know, even peacekeeping missions. Sure. They will remember
the most minute
shit because to us, even to this day, 16 years later, it was like as if it was yesterday. I still remember shit,
right.
You know, like, so yeah, I mean, that's part of the,
well, it's awesome that you remember it, but it's also awesome that you can share it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten a point in my, I guess if you want to call it recovery or whatever. Writing about it is also therapeutic in a way, you know. So
well, I can kind of see that with how you're kind of going down the line of things.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to say you're letting it go, but you're getting into it deeply.
Yeah,
and you're explaining it to people like me who had never seen this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I'm getting I don't want to say an accurate picture, but I'm getting a picture of what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, and if you, I know you read a lot in Havok Journal. A lot of the veterans there, pretty much like same thing. Whatever their experiences were, whether it was Rangers, Special Forces, whatever battle they were in, Mogadishu, even. I mean, they go right down, and you can almost picture it in your head, you know. So that's what I kind of want to give the reader, the non-veteran, even the veterans, like. You know, it's nice to see that we're all in it together. Like
everybody's in it together. Everybody's sharing.
Whatever we're struggling with, whatever issues we got going on.
And let me bring it back. I'm cutting you off, but for good reason. Let me bring it back to our friends at WellnessForWarriors.live.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because anybody listening, any kind of issues, we've been talking to them. They're amazing human beings. And they've helped out a lot of people even since I think we aired their show maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
since then
it's been a bunch. I mean, my last conversation with Megan Kelly, one of the directors, told me six people reached out to them after our episode.
Dude, that's huge.
So I mean, it's amazing. You know,
that's huge.
Reach out, you know, veterans, law enforcement, first responders. Reach out.
Right.
I mean, they'll do what they can, and it's a free service.
It's a free service, and not only is it like if you don't want to contact them, contact us. We'll get you into talking to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's like nothing to worry about.
No, absolutely not. And they get it.
They get it. They get it, and what they do, they don't have to.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
All right, back to the article.
All right. So a few days later, we convoy of Humvees, otherwise we call them as gun trucks, with 50 cal machine guns. The Ma-Deuce, affectionately called by us guys. The Deuce. Arrived to pick us up. So it took several convoys to get us to our, what we call as a forward operating base, or FOB, in other words. So as we travel along the road, I saw different areas where IEDs, improvised explosive devices, had exploded. I could hear pockets of gunfire at every point of the convoy, you know, just different directions. Like, you know, I remember these things. I remember the dust in my face as we're, you know, navigating our way to base. My base, if I remember, it was about an hour drive from Anaconda.
What a harrowing fucking experience, dude.
Yeah. So it got to the point where, you know, we got so used to it. It like, dude, the friggin' Camp Anaconda was a massive base that had an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Right.
And we would find reasons to go to Camp Anaconda just so we can hit their pool. As fucked up as that might sound,
Oh, fuck
but it's
Why is that fucked up?
It's like, hey guys, yeah, let's go to this one village right here, and we're gonna need to refuel. So let's go to Camp Anaconda and bring your swim trunks.
It's the fucking
Roger that.
It's the most intel village fucking in all of Iraq.
Yeah, exactly. so I mean, fellow veterans. I mean, I talked to a lot of them, and they will. Every single one of them has a certain story like that. Like they will come up with certain missions. Like, so it's like, I've got a lot of friends of mine that lived off MREs and stuff like that. Same thing like with us. And these big bases, because they house, generals and whatnot.
They're going to have a lot better stuff.
They have food, man. They got all kinds of shit. So
McDonald's.
Dude, you're not kidding.
I know.
Burger King, TCBY, the ice cream place. They had a movie theater. They had the Olympic-sized swimming pool. I got a funny story about Burger King, actually.
Generals need the fucking...
Oh, yeah. Hey,
TC.
so when I was over there, King Kong came out, the movie, right?
Yeah.
And BurgerKing came out with the King Kong burger. That triple-decker, freaking massive thing.
Glorious fucking burger.
If you ask me. Oh yeah. So we go. We had a supply convoy to do and provide security for supplies. Head down there. So while the supply sergeants and stuff doing their thing, I go over to Burger King because I'm like, dude, I am annihilating that thing.
Yeah.
So I order the King Kong burger with the King Kong fries and the King Kong Coke, and it's like, dude, I ate, and now at 115 degrees, 20 degrees, wearing 60 pounds of gear and driving back, dude, I got so sick. It was bad. I'm like, oh.
Pull over.
Code Brown coming soon. We need step it up. So anyways, I digress. Let me get back there because I got like so many of these types of silly shit that we've done. But all right, so we finally get to the fob, and we settle down in our tents. Each soldier was able to get some sort of mattress for their cause. So the way
we got a mattress.
Well,
yeah,
a cushion. We'll call it.
Yeah, mattress.
So, and the way we were able to do that is we had to basically acquire those things at empty tents that weren't being used yet. So we had to go and grab supplies from previous units and whatever, and just take their freaking mattresses. God only knows if they have bed bugs, whatever. We didn't care. We just fucking grab whatever.
Right.
And we set up our AOs, our sleeping quarters, and we built makeshift walls for privacy. Each tent housed anywhere from 10 to 15 soldiers. And here's my favorite part: some of our tents were made, were coated or made, if I remember correctly, something about kerosene or something like that, because we had to do a fire brief on them because of how fast they lit up.
Really?
On fire, yeah. So I'm like, wow, I'm in the death trap now.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm like, perfect. Okay.
War zone, death trap. Yep. My stomach just went to shit.
Yep. And then not just that, also the wildlife we had to watch out for. Oh. Camel spiders, sand vipers. I'll never forget one of my buddies, good friend of mine, after the briefing, where we learned about the wildlife and all that shit. One of the soldiers had this freaking RC racer, and he was freaking. It was like zooming around, the area, our area, and everything. Dust was kicking up everywhere. I remember. I'm
surprised nobody shot it.
Dude, I remember he grabbed me. He's like, dude, look at that. Look at that. I'm like, what? And that right there. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what, that RC thing? He's like, oh, I thought it was like a desert rodent or something, dude. I'm like, dude, are you that part of the wildlife? Out? Are you that freaked out after that briefing? He's like, dude, I don't want to see any of that shit. I'm like, all right, great. So we're at war. We got to worry about the wildlife. We got to worry about these fucking death trap tents. And we got to be careful how much we eat because we could shit our pants at any moment during a friggin' patrol.
Oh, and don't forget the mortars.
Oh, and the mortars. So anyways, let me get back into this. So the company was given its mission. My company was given its mission for the year. We met with the battalion commander. Really, really close friend of mine. Now, you know, we're like brothers, you know, we're intertwined. Really, really great guy. So the reason why the battalion ended up plucking me from my company to work directly for the battalion commander is because of
I could have gone somewhere with this, but I'm not. I'm choosing the high road.
Just say it.
No,
get it
just
out
go.
of you, because you're gonna hold it. Just
you got chosen, all right. Anyway, go on.
I see. Listen, there were no knee pads. All right.
Where's your picture? Raw. Are you wearing knee pads? Hold on.
Was I? I don't remember. Actually, you might want to look. I don't know. Where is it? No, I wasn't.
No, fuck. All right. Ruined my joke.
Anyway.
All right, so the battalion commander picked Ayman.
Yeah, anyway, so prior to him picking me, so we go to this to the French embassy and all that, and the Iraqi army were one of the units that was securing the French embassy, and we dismounted, and my squad leader asked for my help to translate. He said, "Hey, Ayman, come over here. Can you talk to these guys?" I'm like, "Sure." So I dismounted from the gun truck, and I started talking to the Iraqis. And at first, they were confused.
Who the fuck is this?
Well, it didn't register to them that an American soldier that spoke Arabic. So it kind of threw me off a little, too. And it kind of all of a sudden, my whole squad looked at me. And my squad leader, I mean, you know, we were shaking hands. They gave us bottled water. They gave us juice. You're
the asset. Man.
Yeah. So right away, you know, my commander, my squad leader looks at me, Sergeant. He said, "You're an asset."
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said that.
Dude, well, think about it, right? So there was a lot of translators over there, but there weren't as many as you that were actual soldiers.
Yeah.
That could interact. So there was, with the translators, I'm sure there was a point that things were getting lost in translation. Right?
That and trust.
And trust.
Trust is a huge one.
A lot of OPSEC things that you couldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now they knew that they had an asset that they could actually trust.
Yeah.
Because you were part of the fucking team.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Now, let me ask you, did the Iraqis, how did they look at you? Were they like, "Oh, we're fucked. Now we can't like fuck around with these guys because they have an insider"?
So I think yes, because they knew I was in the know.
Okay.
So if they were to plan any fuckery or talk about any fuckery,
because I knew
it.
You're not only good with the language, but you know the culture. You know their mannerisms. You know how they work.
Yeah.
Right. So it's natural to you. You don't have to watch it. You're absorbing everything that's going on.
Yeah. And the Iraqis, the Iraqi army, Iraqi police, and some of the civilians and stuff, they were also, they didn't know what to make of me. They thought I was some CIA operative, counterterrorism, gonna take them to Gitmo or a black
My name's
site.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. So they didn't know what to make of me because it never dawned on them of an American soldier speaking Arabic.
Yeah.
And at the time in 2005, if my numbers are correct, the amount of actual service members, whether Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, there was only 3,500 Arabic-speaking service members.
In total?
In total.
Wow.
And that's it.
3,500 out of how many people?
Oh, you're talking, I mean, the Army alone is like 1.2 million.
Right. Well, was there
Or
that many
more.
deployed?
I have no idea, but I do recall that.
I mean, it had to have been at least a couple of 100,000, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
3,500 out of, wow. Man.
Yeah. And various positions, right, throughout the military.
Various positions, right? And they can't be, a lot of them probably weren't boots on the ground, right?
Yeah, most, I mean, I don't know how many, I mean, I know in my AO, which was area of it means area of operation, which we had a vast area of operation. I knew that from what I knew, I was the only soldier in that entire area that spoke Arabic.
Talk about a fucking asset, man. Jesus Christ.
So I became extremely busy,
valuable,
as you can imagine, and and I had a reward for my head.
Oh, how much?
$100,000, which I was kind of pissed. I was like, come on, that should have been more than that.
250.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I was thinking like 100 million. Well, come on, look at this guy.
Sorry, bro. I don't think I paid 100. 100 mil. 100 mil. I can do a lot with that. 100 grand, maybe we can.
So yeah, no. So I remember through the grapevine and like intel reports, whatever, it came down that translators, American soldiers spoke Arabic, whatever. Al Qaeda had a price on our head.
Did they give you a name? It's like a cool fucking name, like American Pirate or fucking something. You know what I'm saying?
No, so my squad, we were called the Spartans. Well, Praetorians and Spartans, but we'll get into that as soon as we get there with the article.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me get back because I can go on forever talking about this. So a couple of weeks later, I was given a new mission. I was assigned to the battalion commander. Personal security detail.
Yep.
The squad was called the Praetorians. They were named after an elite unit within the Roman army whose members served as the personal bodyguards of the Roman emperor. The battalion commander's call sign was Spartan 6. The FOB was called FOB Spartan, so he was in charge of the FOB, essentially. After my deployment, I found out our call signs were quite fitting, because after thinking about it, we're like, we were a small unit, small squad of soldiers who traveled all over northern Iraq with the battalion commander, who never slept, by the way. It was like, holy shit. And we conducted over 40,000 miles of combat patrols.
Jesus Christ.
He was one active, proactive battalion commander.
Savage.
Well, he reminded me of, if you remember, like Colonel Halmore, we were soldiers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
First in the battle, last to leave type of guy.
Beast.
Last to eat type of leader.
Yeah.
Made sure all of us are good.
A true leader.
A true leader. I mean, I have yet to meet a leader like that in my lifetime right now. I have yet to meet another one.
God bless him, man. What's his name?
Colonel Dan McElroy, and he's me and him again, very close friends, and we talk all the time.
Very cool.
We've actually met up a few times after. Still to this day, we'll visit each other and stuff like that. So, anyways, I reported to him. So this is my first meeting with the battalion commander. He was a little shorter than me, but he had command presence and a type of energy that you just wanted to run into battle with him. You just wanted to.
Yep.
And later on, I'll send you some videos of his speeches. You'll probably want to get out of your patrol car
and go fight something.
I
like it. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Well, it'd be good before a call, but then...
I have a hot call. Can you send me something?
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, he, being a leader, you can, he was also one thing I learned from him, being a leader, that you can still talk to your subordinates as one of your own.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
So, here's...
Do as I say.
Here's the battalion commander.
Talking to you like fucking me and you.
Like me and you, exactly. Man, we would sit down and play spades together.
Right.
Spades, cigars, whatever.
That's who you go into battle with.
Yeah. It was like surreal to me because I've had battalion commanders that were complete assholes.
Well, that's the thing, man. Somebody's going to be a dickhead to you. Even, I'm not trying to compare the two, but even here on the street.
Yeah.
Right? When a boss, whether it be a sergeant or a lieutenant or a captain, or whoever, are idiots, you don't want to fucking do anything for them.
No.
But when they're awesome, you're like, I'll go into a fucking burning house with this guy.
And here's the thing. Now, awesome, yes, because he was a great leader. But here's the thing: he was also firm but fair, right? So I've been yelled at by him a few times.
Of course,
while overseas. 90% of the time is because safety and all that shit.
Yep.
Because he really cared. It wasn't,
You just throw up in your mouth a little bit?
No. I had some food before I came because I had a good workout. Excuse me. So he went and what I learned from him is to be that fair, impartial leader and to be one of the guys at the same time.
Right.
Where, like, I knew he was the battalion commander. He didn't need to tell me his rank. You know those leaders. I'm the sergeant.
Listen to me.
I'm the lieutenant. I'm the captain. I'm the chief.
One of you get me a podium.
Yeah, exactly. Where they like to hear themselves talk. Yeah. So, and there's no insubordination, right? Because this commander knew his shit. knew the men. He knew every single one of us under his command.
And the men knew it.
Yes.
They knew that he wasn't a fucktard.
No.
Right? Like, you weren't going to fuck around. He was fair. Like, you're at war.
Yeah.
How much better of a commander can you have?
Yeah. He actually instituted Friday night fights, so boxing matches.
Really?
Brilliant idea. Now, here's the thing, right? You're at war. Me and you, whatever. We get into a pissing match. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Let's take it out Friday night.
You know what? Let's do it Friday night then. Instead of building it where one of us gets into a shooting, you know what I mean, where it turns into a fratricide.
That, or you're turning a corner and you see each other and fucking now you're rolling around on the ground. Nobody knows what's going on.
Exactly.
Now we have the
now we have
setting.
a venue. Now we have a venue.
Yep.
We will box it out.
Brilliant. Winner's winner, and that's it.
And talk about letting out your aggression too.
Could you imagine if we did that in policing? I would like to.
But here's the thing. One, I think the public who doesn't know any better would be like, "Oh my God, they're training to kill us." You know, like they wouldn't get that. You know, they wouldn't understand that aspect of the mentality.
Right.
You know, it's unreal. So you know, getting back to the article, you know, so I met the Praetorians, the squad leader. He looked like he hasn't slept.
Am I on the right page here?
Praetorians with Spartan 6. So go to the next one. I think there's a picture of us. Where are you?
I met the Praetorian. No. Okay, all right.
Yeah, you're at the Praetorian?
Yeah. I'll put up the picture.
Oh, okay. So the Praetorians, so it's, the title, yeah, there it is. Yep. So the Praetorians, which that's us right there. I am at the far right at the bottom.
Bottom right?
Yep, right there.
With the big scary gun?
Dude, that's a M16, dude.
Oh, the original M16?
M16A4.
Wow.
That's what I had. That thing was freaking,
cannon.
Yeah, it was a good weapon.
Where are you guys here?
So this was in Baghdad at the right under the Saddam swords, one of the sides.
Oh, no
shit. Those cross swords that
okay, now
that
I can see it, yeah.
So those helmets right there were from the Iran-Iraq War.
Wow.
Yeah, of the soldiers that died.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yep,
are they like in the concrete?
Yeah, and they built it right into the concrete.
Wow, man.
Those were the soldiers that were killed during the Iran-Iraq War. Jesus Christ. I forgot for which side, whether it was Iran or Iraq, but those helmets are soldiers that died.
Wow, bro.
So anyway, so we again, I met the squad leader. Hardly slept. Like, I could tell he hasn't slept in weeks. You know, and when you're in charge of a squad responsible for the well-being of the battalion commander, I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
Right.
Anything happens to that dude, it's on you.
Right.
You know, and he thing is though, he used to drive the squad leader crazy because there are times where we were doing like entries into buildings and shit like that. He'd be my number 2.
What?
I was like, what the? I was like,
seriously?
Right, okay, sir. And actually, one of the speeches.
Kind of a little pressure on you too, right?
Well, so I sent you. I'll send you a video that his going away speech to us after we were all done and everything, and he told us that. And you guys knew it. If any one of you ever pulled me out of a fight, I will kick your ass. That's in badass. That, you know. So it was man. You know, so it was quite the experience, you know, working for him, and with him, you know, and so squad leader introduced me to the rest of the Praetorians as they were cleaning their weapons, preparing for the next mission. All of them welcomed me as one of their own right away, because here's the thing: I'm from a completely different unit, going into another unit. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are, but right away I was welcomed. Right away, you know. We all bleed green. Sure. You know, and that's one thing I loved about the military. It didn't matter where you came from, what color your skin.
All brothers and sisters.
Your religion, we all bleed green. We all have the same exact mentality, same missions, all of it, you know, all of it. So part of the thing with them is they had all sorts and manners of weaponry because we were assigned to the battalion commander. Okay. You know, we had 249s, we had 240s, 50 cals, M4s, M16s, just all kinds of weaponry. AT4s, which are the rocket launchers.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool to be in a squad like that because those guys were all high speed. They were good people. They were good soldiers. They knew their shit, you know, and they, you know, they've been under the command of the battalion commander for a little while before I got there. You know, you're talking like a couple of months. So after a few minutes of getting to know each other, we were given our mission by the squad leader. I went back to my tent to prepare. I realized it was going to be an extremely busy time for me. So I was also anxious because here's the thing. I mean, I'm 23 years old, and I had to ensure my situational awareness was 100% at all times. 11 men relied me to assess a situation, give them the information it needed so we could respond appropriately, right? So I would go into these high-level meetings with the battalion commander, with various Iraqi tribes, Iraqi mayors, leaders, whatever, and I would be the one translating, but at the same time, I also assessed the feel of the room.
Right.
You know, if
again, you knew the cultural aspects of a lot of these
so
things.
if I felt something was off,
right,
we had a kind of code word we would say. I'm not going to reveal it, but we had a code word we would say where they'll come in heavy. Yeah, you know, like fuck, like kind of like, you know,
it's like an avalanche.
Avalanche. Like, you know, president sitting on the podium, something happens, and everyone swarms. You know, it's kind of like that.
Let's not give it up.
No. Yeah. So it's you know, it was kind of like that. So. I also had to make sure I didn't give up any information about where we're going, what we're doing, and part of that and information about me either, because I still had family in Lebanon.
There,
which Lebanon, you know, it's freaking 2-hour flight probably to get there from Iraq.
I'm sure these motherfuckers were sniffing, dude.
Oh yeah,
they were like, "Who is this guy?"
Yep.
They're looking at everything about you, probably your dialect, fucking.
Well, they knew I was from southern Lebanon just based on my dialect. Yep. You know, and that's the region. You know, it is what it is.
So they're sniffing around, they're asking around.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
And I ripped off my last name on my name tape. Yep. And I had all the guys just call me by my first name, Ayman. I said, don't even give my last name. Right. It's only Ayman. Ayman. Because Ayman in the Middle East is a very common name, too. Okay. You know, it's kind of like John. You know, something like that. So I just kept it at that. So, and it made me feel a little better that now I'm not so much of, or my family isn't so much of a target. I wasn't too concerned about myself. It's just more my family, because I know I can take care of myself. So while I was over there meeting with the guys, we went out on our missions, and some of our missions, man, you're talking a 14-hour convoy, like to go up to Mosul.
Jesus.
And you're just driving. Yeah. And man, you're talking in the heat. You got to stay aware, situationally aware.
I was just going to say, you got 14 hours, you're looking fucking 360.
Yeah.
You're looking at everything, every little rock that seems fucking off. Your ears are fucking perked.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And you know, so it was really nonstop, and it was like I went there, and at the same time though, I had issues when I was home. Yeah. Right. So I was looked upon by certain members of the community as the enemy. I was called once.
What do you mean? Why?
Oh, you joined the enemy.
Traitor.
Yeah, traitor. That's
shit.
Oh yeah, right here, right at home, in the good old U.S. of A.
What?
Yeah, that's the way I was looked at, because I deployed. You know,
by people living in the United States.
Yeah, enjoying the freedoms that they have.
No offense to anybody that you know. Fuck them.
Yeah, well, seriously, that's the way I felt. I mean, at that point I disconnected myself from so many members of the community because, one, they showed their true colors, and two, here's the thing: whether you agreed with the war or not, everyone had their own opinions about the wars. Right?
Of course.
Whatever. It is what it is. But here's the thing: I was given orders, time to deploy.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Time to go do what we got to do. But you know what? One thing that's so true is the minute a bullet goes right by you, or mortars hit, or whatever you felt about the war, or whatever,
out the window.
It's out the window.
Right.
Now it's about you.
Survival.
To the guy to your left and to your right. or the the gal to your left, to your right. It didn't matter at that point. So that's and for people to like within my community to realize that or to understand that, they will never, because again, even here, they're still in that tribal mentality. You know, they still have that, because like even my culture is the same way. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get it, but like it's disappointing to fucking hear that. Like you can't support. Was this family that we're talking about? Either family or close family.
Like they can't support you.
Yeah, no, I when I went to boot camp, man, I was basically on my own at boot camp. Got letters here and there, whatever. Yeah, but when I was at war, again, like most soldiers, actually, we never told our families really where we were. Right. But they knew. They had an idea. They had an idea, right. And I went. You know, I spoke to my family every once in a while, but it was kind of like I don't know, kind of like almost, hey, I'm just here. Yeah, I'm okay. All right, thanks, bye. You know, it wasn't really nothing in depth. I was, you know, I kind of, so my own, I've kind of learned to develop my own drive, my own determination. Right. Well, you're mission oriented, right? You're gonna take care of the mission. You're gonna take care of the men. Yep. You take care of you. Yep. You know, and you can't let those outside influences fucking get in your head. Because here's the thing: the minute you let that stuff get into your head out there, that's when you die. Oh, exactly. That's when bad shit happens. You zig instead of zag, and you catch a bullet. It's the same here on the street, right? Like you can't let anything get into your head that's not positive. If it's positive, let it be in your head, right? Because even the positivity, let's get in the physiological aspect. It's dumping good chemicals, good hormones, and all that. Yeah. But in a war zone, Jesus. No, in a war zone, it was. I mean, I remember there were times in a war zone, and I was kind of in a haze, right? You're kind of in that fog of war, if you want to call it, walking back to my tent, and I remember seeing one of the garrison sergeants. Garrison are ones like, you know, they don't really go outside the wire. They have other functions, like whether it's paperwork or whatever, and whatever they did. But as I was walking by, the sergeant was actually a female sergeant assigned to the battalion. She walked by me, and she saw I was kind of in that fog, right? Kind of just walking back lazily, if you want to call it, whatever. Yeah. And she said to me, "Hey, Sarge, keep your head up." And just that kind of snapped me out of it right away. Smacked you in the butt a little bit. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you know, I got to keep my head up, you know. Because everybody, we're all victims to it, right? Yeah, yeah. Like you're always going to get victim to the bullshit. Yeah. It's always going to creep into your head, but sometimes you just need that little slap in the butt. Yeah, yeah, you know, and just her saying that, I mean, I smiled and I said, Roger that, Sarge. And, you know, I continued on back to the tent, and I mean, so with this article, I mean, the reason I wrote it is, one, to give a glimpse of what it was like when I first got to Iraq. I have other articles. We'll get into those later on. Yeah, it says to be continued here. Yeah, it says to be continued because there's another part to this, which is actually what I just kind of went into, is the whole, oh, you're the enemy, you know. Oh, okay. You know, so it goes more in depth into that. So we'll leave that for the next one. And that's on Havok Journal too. And that is on Havok Journal. You can just click the link and it goes right to it. So, you know, me getting to Iraq, it was such a surreal moment. After, again, I realized we're at war, you know, after the mortars came down. But, you know, a few months in, those mortars didn't really matter anymore. It became second nature. It became kind of like constant. I'll never forget going on leave. Right when I was getting ready to go on leave for my 2 weeks, I went back to Camp Anaconda, because that's where we leave to go to Kuwait, from Kuwait to wherever we chose to go. And so I remember laying in my tent, in the tent, and kind of like the transient tent, if you want to call it, on base. And I'll never forget hearing the mortars sail over my tent. And me and a few guys were laying there. We kind of, and we heard the blast. No biggie. We're like, it's far. So that's at least 200 fucking yards out. So we lay back to sleep. So again, you think about it like today, you know. Yeah. You're like, that's fucked up. Yeah. You know, like there were times where me and the squad leader were doing our mission briefing right outside the gate. inside the gate, but we're like right there.
Yeah.
You know, he's going through his binder of the latest intel reports, stuff like that, and we're just going through it. And you know, I'll never forget. I saw a few mortars hit. I don't know, again, like 200-300 yards away from us. Boom, boom, boom.
No big deal.
And we're just looking at it, and we're like, huh, that's interesting. And the squad leader's like, well, I guess that's our cue to go, right? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And it was so nonchalant.
You guys wanted like 5 more minutes, and then we're out of here.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't anything. Anything
no
like
biggie.
Yeah, it wasn't. It turned into more of a hassle because you're getting in the way of my fucking sleep. You know, now I got to get up and you know it is.
How
what
dare
it
you,
is.
mortars?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what again, that's like. I'm sure to veterans they can understand it. Listening to the civilians who are listening that don't understand it. It's a different type of world. It's a different type of mentality. Again, I hate how certain people like to kind of paint us as these savage Vikings or whatever. Even Vikings.
Although being a Viking
savage.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, but just like no emotion type shit. And you know as well as I do, the only reason why we get no emotion, if you want to call it that, is because of muscle memory. We get into that mode where we're doing entries, whatever. Yep. And to me, I equate it to be like, I'm like as if watching a VR video game and just going through the motions. I'm not doing it. It's just my body doing it. It's
a stillness of the mind.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's the muscle memory in your brain. The brain's a muscle.
Yeah.
Right? It's the muscle memory in your brain. It's sad that we have to get to that level.
Yeah.
Because you're going through all that experience.
Yeah.
It's sad that you as soldiers had to get to that level.
Yeah.
Where you're telling me the story, and that's the first thing that I'm thinking of is the muscle memory. You guys are just, playing fuck and there's another mortar, 200 yards.
Yeah. You
guys want to get out of here or whatnot. Like, I get it. You've been desensitized to it because it's war.
Yeah.
You're a soldier. But if a transformer fucking blows on the street here the wrong way, like people will shit their pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, you need to be desensitized to it. We get it. That's part of living here in this country, right? You grew up with fucking bombs falling around you.
Yeah.
I remember you were talking about it.
Yeah. Liberian Civil War and Lebanese Civil War.
Right.
Yeah.
So you grew up with it. Talk about being desensitized, but you went to war when you're an adult and it still affected you.
Yeah.
Even though you were desensitized. Do you see what I'm trying to get?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Mentally, physiologically, when you don't do it as often. So as a kid, yes, I grew up with it and all that. But then for years living here, not having to deal with it, you kind of lose sense of what it was like. And then when I was thrusted back or I, went right back to war, I was kind of shook up at first.
Sure.
But then I got used to it.
But Ayman, it's the same. I'm not saying it's the same. Again, I'm not comparing, but it's like when you have a traumatic experience here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter how much used to it you are, no matter how tough you are, no matter how big the fucking wall is, something's going to get through.
Yes.
Right? And you might be driving home one day and you might be like, oh, fuck, what just happened with this, with that?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Actually, I'm going to go, one of my buddies, I actually wanted to talk about this one. He brought up a great point. He's a fellow SWAT guy. And he's on my team, and he actually posted something so profound to me that I'm like, you know what? He is 110% correct.
Yep.
What he said was, in a normal person's lifetime, well, shouldn't say no, but in this country, in one lifetime or in the Western world, whatever, however you want to word it, a person might experience one traumatic event. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe, on the rare occasions.
Yeah.
Cops, us as cops, first responders, we might have to deal with 2 or 3 a week.
Yep.
Whether it was
about right.
Whether it was a baby's death or a violent struggle or a horrific car crash or multitude of things. So when he posted that and said that, I'm like, you know what, he's fucking right. So he was going back into the dark sense of humor that we all have. We're all pretty messed up sense of humor, but that's our release.
Right.
Right. We don't mean anything by it.
Right.
But it's a way that we let go.
Yeah, you could be at a murder scene and fucking, fuck around with your friend.
Oh yeah, I mean,
as long as it's not taking out of the murder scene.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've been to murder scenes and sudden deaths and stuff like that. And the next question out of my mouth is, all right, what's for lunch?
Yeah.
What's for dinner?
Yeah.
You guys want to order some pizzas before we get back?
But that's not to say. I mean, that's okay. We've been desensitized,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we use humor a lot. But that's not to say that it won't affect you.
Yes.
The next day or a year from now. How many times have you talked to somebody and you're like, hey, what's wrong? And they're like, hey, remember that thing fucking 2 years ago? Yeah. And you're like, holy shit. And then you talk about it or you get them the help or this and that.
Here's a true from me, not so much at war. I mean, I had my issues there, but more recent, maybe a few months ago,
right?
SWAT op and everything, and it got close to a shoot,
a bad day
for both me and the suspect. One, because I was forced to pull that trigger, which again, we talked about it about the worry of me losing my humanity again if it comes to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But like 2-3 days later after that, on my way to training, my heart rate was freaking flying fast.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, all those emotions I felt
hit me.
Right
at one fucking point.
Yes,
Just
random. It was the most random thing. I was driving down the Mass Pike, and bam, I got hit.
Yeah. You were probably listening to fucking good music.
Oh, yeah,
probably
man.
Thinking about fucking rainbows or some shit. And then it's just, I don't mean rainbows, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were probably like, oh, nice car. Fucking bang.
Oh, yeah. No, it hit me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And any first responder or veteran military that says that's bullshit, I call your bullshit.
Of course.
Fucking admit it. Like, I dealt with it. I did my combat breathing and I just kind of worked it out.
Yeah.
Made a couple phone calls to fellow friends and close people that, would understand these things and moved right past along it.
Right.
But it happens. That's the reality of the job. And you need, us as veterans, as first responders, we need to, quote unquote, man up and just be like, all right, fuck, I'm getting hit hard on this one.
Let's deal with it.
Let's deal with it.
Right. Don't fall into the trap.
Yeah.
Because I feel, and I'm not a psychologist, but I feel like falling back into a trap is the most deadliest thing you could possibly do.
You could. I mean, I've talked to a lot of, Megan, Wellness for Warriors, right? The worst thing you can do is suppress it.
Right.
Over and over and over and over again. And I get it. There are times where you're at work and you have to, fuck, I got, we got to deal with the situation. My emotions can't get into it.
Right.
Right. I can't feel like this.
You can file it in a temporary file cabinet.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But when it comes up,
let it out.
Let it out, recognize it, and then deal with it.
Right.
I mean, we do that every single frickin' day as cops.
Well, think about it. We do it for other fucking people.
Yeah. Yeah.
People we don't know.
No, people we don't know that are experiencing traumatic experience or whatever, and they end up walking down the middle of the road naked and throwing shit around. And
sounds like my Friday night.
We talk them down off the ledge. I mean, how many
Saturday night?
Well, how many times have you talked people off the ledge?
Yeah, like 1,000 times.
Yeah, I mean, they had a bad day, whatever trauma they experienced hit them hard, and they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate enough to be able to recognize that and be able to deal with it, where not a lot are able to. Even us, or even me personally, I struggle at times. There are times I do struggle no matter what, because you know what? We're human.
Right. But think about it, right? If you can, on the street, no matter what's going on in your life, if you need to fucking talk someone off the ledge, you filed it away and you're taking care of that human being.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So as long as you can realize that if something's going on in your head, file fucking everything else away.
Yeah.
File everything else away.
Yep.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Reach out to the Project Sapient. Reach out to the Wellness for Warriors.
Yeah.
Reach out to your fucking buddy.
Yeah.
Reach out to your sergeant. Reach out to somebody. And if they tell you to fuck off, call us. We'll call them.
Yeah.
I have no problem fucking calling anyone out.
Here's the thing. And I know certain people in the departments that you'll never call.
Oh, I know.
But there are certain ones, like personally, I would call because
They'll get it.
They get it. Two, like for me as a veteran, also their fellow veterans,
Yep.
they get it even more.
So you have brotherhood plus brotherhood.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's like a twofer for me.
Yeah.
Right. So and veterans
Giggity.
only talk to veterans only talk to each other in the end, just like cops only talk to each other. Right. It's a trust thing. It's something that, you know, trust in this profession, whether it's, you know, me and my Praetorians and the Spartans, or me on my SWAT team, me and my plainclothes unit, you and your patrol and SWAT and
Stop
all that.
reminding me.
But we all have that certain group of guys, couple, 2 or 3, that we can call anytime because they get it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All these guys here in this picture.
Yeah.
You're still close with everybody?
Yeah, unfortunately, one of them in that picture
Kind of where I was getting at.
died. Yeah.
Okay.
Sergeant Robert Carr. Later on, we learned that this was, and I used to talk to him a lot, and he was like one of my closest friends. And when I found out he actually passed away, it was devastating.
Devastating.
You know, because he was such a good guy, and I know his last deployment in Afghanistan was probably his worst one that he ever did, and it was so bad. He lost guys. He lost a lot of guys. He lost friends. He was struggling really bad, and the way he died was a motorcycle crash, like kind of like, you know, I don't know what. Again, I don't know what it was exactly, and actually I have it right here, his obituary. He died October 23rd, 2013, at age 46. You know, and he was, he was actually the battalion commander's driver. And he had such a freaking funny sense of humor. It was amazing to me. And actually in the picture, where would he be? Let me see. Hold on. Closer.
Don't get so close, man. You haven't bought me dinner.
Yeah, I can't tell. Oh, there.
Wait, stay right there. Stay right.
I think that's him right there.
In the middle?
Yeah, right there. I think that's him right there.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. You know, and you know, again, his awards was Bronze Star, Army Commendation with 3 oak leaf clusters. Army Achievement 1 Oak Leaf Cluster, Meritorious Unit Citation, Army Superior Unit Award, Army Good Conduct Medal with 3 bronze knots, National Defense Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Global War and Test. So, you know.
On and on.
On and on. You know, the guy was a war hero. And, and, you know, again, you know, rest in peace, Bobby. You're probably in a better place now.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, so that article was kind of my intro to when I went to Iraq. I know we kind of segued into some more stuff, but but in the end, I mean, it kind of all came together anyways. But, you know, just to our listeners, and please go on Havok Journal. I know I have several articles about my time in Iraq. Feel free to read it. Read the other veterans on there, of their struggles, of their issues with being at war. Yeah, I mean, you know, so again, if you guys have anything you want to tell us, please, projectsapient2020@gmail.com. We will do everything we can.
Absolutely. Ayman, thank you so much for sharing all this shit with us, brother.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
It gives you a peek into the mindset of people like me who don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We're on Facebook channels. We're on YouTube channels now. Our supporters, Havok Journal, Gym Junkies, Vector Shields, Wellness for Warriors Live Boston, WellnessForWarriors.live, LiveBoston617.org. Guys, stay safe, stay sapient. Say bye, Ayman.
See you guys.